guys, it's me, and today I'm here with a new makeup video. It's kind of like a tutorial, but it's kind of not. But we'll see how things go. It's probably going to be more of a tutorial anyways, because I don't feel like doing a chit-chat get ready with me, because I don't have a lot to talk to you guys about. And the, watch me do my makeup as I talk about a particular topic video that I'm wanting to do as a Q&A video, but I still don't have enough questions yet. So if you want to ask me any questions and you want to have them answered, drop them down in the comments below and I'll answer them in a Q&A video. But anyways, the makeup look I'm wanting to do today is actually a recreation of a look that I did about 2 years ago. And I did this look for my birthday that year in 2018. And I actually streamed myself on Instagram Live doing this makeup. And I want to recreate it. I've been really wanting to recreate this look and maybe tweak it up just ever so slightly. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The main event for this look is the OG Jaclyn Hill palette, which I know there's a lot of drama centered around the new Jaclyn Hill palette, which I still really want the palette. It does suck that the new palette isn't vegan, which is a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, Morphe changed the formula without letting Jaclyn know, so I think most of the problems lie with Morphe, but I still really want that palette, even though there are a lot of repetitive shades in it. But yeah, I definitely need to give this palette some more love, because as you can see, it's still in pretty decent condition. Because I haven't played around with it that much, and I haven't played with it in a very long time. Last time I played with it was when I did my following Charlotte Wessel's makeup tutorial back in November, and or was it December? I don't know. It was right around in there when I did that video. But before then, I don't remember the last time I had used this palette, so I'm trying to get some more use out of this guy. But anyways, enough babbling on with this intro. Let's go ahead and hop on into this tutorial, I guess is what we're calling it. But before we get into the exciting stuff, if you're new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. And also while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up. All my links are down in the description box below, which are the links to my Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and my second channel, which is my music channel. And yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to start out by filling in my eyebrows using the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I groomed my brows today, finally. And I actually shaped them differently than I've been doing. So I don't know if you guys will be able to notice the difference or not. But if you do notice it, let me know how you feel about it. I've been wanting to reshape my brows a little bit and change them up and whatnot for a while. But I was always a little bit nervous because I was scared that it might be a little too dramatic of a difference. But since doing it this morning though, I can't even notice the difference at all. They just look how my brows have always looked, but just a little bit neater. And that's it. So let me know if you guys notice a difference and how you guys feel about it in the comments. So now I'm going to go in and prime my eyes using the NYX HD concealer. This is in the shade Porcelain. And I'm just going to blend it out using this Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush. So the first shade I'm going to dip into is in the NYX Ultimate Sprites palette. And it's going to be this shade here. It's kind of like a magenta type of shade. It's the closest shadow that I have to that blush shade that I used all those years ago. So we're just going to be using it. And I'm just going to take this guy into the crease. And the main reason why I'm using this shade as well is because a lot of the shadows in the Ultimates Brights palette, and well, really both of the Ultimates palettes that I have this one in the Smoky and Highlight palette. The shades, some of them are really nice and pigmented, but they're also mainly just buildable shadows. So with using this shade, it's actually going to work in my benefit instead of using the magenta shade in the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, because that one has a lot more pigment. Whereas this one, as you can see, is going on a bit more sheer. But like I said, these shadows are more on the buildable side of things. So this is actually working out very nicely for me because it's allowing me to get a very, very similar tone to that blush shade that I used in my crease with the original look. I'm going to dip into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade Royalty, which is this purple shade. Just taking it on like a flat shader brush. This one is from Shady Cosmetics. It's the E11. You can use whatever flat shader brush you want to use for this. I'm just going to take this on the inner corner and blend inwards. And so when it comes to doing like halo eyes, what I like to do is tap the product on in the areas where you want the most coverage from your shadow. So like with a halo eye, that would be like the inner and outer corners. And then once you get that color placed down, like lightly swipe it inwards. Although it has shimmer in it, the shimmer isn't as intense with this shade as it is with the blue shade that we're going to be using. And speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and dip on into it. It's this guy here, and yeah, it's called Twerk. And I'm taking it on another flat shader brush. This is the Shany E16. Tap that off real quick. But again, you can use whatever flat shader brush you want to use. I know with these shady brushes, they're double-sided, and I know not everybody likes a double-sided brush, but I got these shady brushes back when I was beginning my makeup journey years and years ago, so double-sided brushes were a nice idea for me because it was like, hey, get two brushes in one. I focus like the main deposit of color on the center of the lid and then start blending it outwards, doing that same type of tapping, swiping motion as I did with Royalty. Now I'm just going to take this brush here. This is just a color from Do Color or Doe Color. I don't know how you pronounce their name. But I'm going to pick up that magenta shade from earlier. And I'm just going to start blending out those edges using this brush. Now you could easily have just used like a clean brush for this, but I'm applying some color though to help the blend a bit more, because these shades, because of the fact that they're in like blues and purples, they can be kind of tricky to blend. So by adding just a tiny bit of product, it'll help them blend just ever so slightly more. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this over here off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. So I'm gonna pick up that magenta shade from earlier. We put in the crease, and I'm gonna take it on this Real Techniques shading brush. Just gonna run this along the bottom lash line, mainly on the lid, really. I'm actually going to take another color out of this palette, and I'm going to take this deep purple shade here. I'm just going to take it on the very tip of this dense shader brush here. I don't know the brand for this brush here. It was a double-sided brush that I got years and years ago. And I'm just going to scratch this along the lash line. I'm just going to take a clean blending brush. You can use whatever brush you want to use for this. And I'm just going to go around the edges of everything, as well as like the bottom lid here, just to blend that out some. I'm going to pick up Sissy, which is the shade right next to it. It's like faint, but it has a little bit more pink to it. Now when I do my inner corner highlight, I like to go like a bit inward in the bottom part, because I find that that looks the most flattering on me. Now I'm going to dip into faint, and I'm just going to take it on this Do Color, however you pronounce their name, brush. And I'm just going to pop this right at the brow bone to be my highlight shade. So the last thing for the eyes is just to pop on some mascara. Use whatever mascara you want to use. I'm going to be using Too Faced Better Than Sex because I'm trying to use it up. I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I'm using up my Too Faced products, as once I am done using them, I am not going to be purchasing from them again, because after the controversy drama bits that popped up after Nicki's coming out video. Yeah, that was the last straw for me with them. Give them plenty of chances to, like, not necessarily redeem themselves, but to, like, prove to me that, like, they're not as bad as, like, these, like, bits of drama and controversy are making them out to be. But without fail, they always tend to prove that, oh, they are those people. Just keeping the mascara up on the top lashes. I've been really liking this look. Like, just keeping the mascara on the top lashes. So, yeah. And if you want to pop on some false lashes, you can do so. I don't have any false lashes because I don't work well with false lashes. So, yeah. As my eyelashes just grow in really strange, or at least they started growing in strange when I first tried to actually learn how to do false lashes. I think now they've gotten to the point where they have settled into the positioning that they want to be. So I think I'll be able to do false lashes a lot easier now if I take another stab at them. So now I'm going to move on to the face, and I'm just going to prime my face using the Catrice Prime and Fine Nude Glow Primer. I know I've talked about this before in the past as well, that I don't use primers anymore, but I still have this primer left. So I'm just trying to use it up, and once it's gone, it's gone. And I'll be done with using primers entirely. I just don't want to waste product is all. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Do You foundation, and this is in the shade Swan. Using this guy because the other foundation that I have is too light in terms of coverage, because I need a little bit of extra coverage today, thanks to a eczema breakout that is starting to happen. So I'm dealing with some irritation from that, so I need to cover that up. So this foundation has more coverage than my other one that I have, which my other foundation that I have is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. It's a tinted moisturizer, but it has buildable coverage to it. I really like that guy. I used it in my previous video. So if you want to see it, you can go check that out. What have you guys been up to? Me, I have been keeping up with the Eurovision and checking out the new entries for this year. There are definitely some good ones, but I don't know. So far, I'm not impressed with a lot of the entries. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are very good. It's just that there's not a lot of them that are just blowing me away so far. I mean, there's only been, I think 20 something entries announced so far out of the 40 something countries that are participating in Eurovision. So there's still quite a few more songs that are going to be coming out. But so far, there are only been a few that are really blowing my mind. One of them is Latvia's song, which I know some people don't really like it. I really love it though. I think that is a really great song. But I will say this though, I did watch the selection performances for their song, which their song is Still Breathing by Samantha Tina. And those live performances are not that good. Just simply because the production isn't there live and everything. The song is just so dramatic and chaotic that their performances during the selection process do not give it enough justice. Lithuania, they have a really fun song. It's really strange, but I really like it. And then let's see, whom else am I liking? Serbia's song this year is a lot of fun. Just gonna use some setting spray real quick. And then Georgia's song is also really fun. Georgia, they just honestly don't give a fuck when it comes to Eurovision. They just send whatever songs they want to send. They don't care if it's something trendy or typical for Eurovision. They send what they want to send, and I freaking love it. Because, like, the last... I don't remember their song in 2018. But I know in, like, years past, like, they have sent some really, like, interesting and different tracks. Like, I know last year they sent, like, that one dude that just got really dramatic and had a really intense choir of dudes up on stage with him. And it was insane and powerful. This year, their entry, like, this guy is, like, a rock metal singer and everything. He's not doing, like a rock or metal track. It's more so, like, a pop track, but with, like, those types of vocals on top of it. So it was really interesting. And then I think they sent, like a rock band or a metal band. I think it was several years ago. I can't remember which year it was. And then, like, 2017, they sent, like a really dramatic, like, cinematic soul type of song and everything. Really lovely track. I really enjoyed it. I was upset that they didn't get that far. But then again, it's more than just a song with Eurovision. The performance is also a big aspect of it. Just gonna take pops and pop it on high points real quick. But yeah, so, like, they really just don't give a fuck. They send what they want to send. And I really admire them for that. Because there are so many countries that will send, like, the typical traditional stuff. Because they see it as, like, an easy way for them to get a win. Which annoys me, because it's just, like, send the stuff that's, like, eye-catching. Be Albania. Do what they do, because last year they were my favorite song. Last year with Theotokos. And they're my favorite this year so far was Shy. Oh my god, Shy is such a great and amazing song. I have been listening to it non-stop for, like, the last 2 days. Like, I finally listened to it yesterday because I heard, like, a snippet of it when they first got announced and everything, and I was just like, ooh, I can't listen to this right now. I want to do a reaction video to it. But I decided to, like, scrap that idea of doing Eurovision reaction videos, and I'm just gonna do, like, a regular video dedicated to, like, my favorites for Eurovision, and just do, like, a top 10 favorites this year over on my music channel. So if you want to see that, keep an eye out. That will be happening sometime next month, most likely. And I really do hope that they get far in the competition, as long as they, one, don't change it to English like they are talking about possibly doing, and two, that they keep it as dramatic as that live performance during the selection process. Because the studio version of it is not that great, but the live performance of it at the selection process is everything. It is so good. It is such a great song. I'm going to pick up the shade Creme, right? Yeah, Creme, out of the Deuce palette. I'm going to use this as my blush today. And I'm going to try to use this Royal and Lanicle brush here, which I applied the highlighter using a Wet n Wild blending brush. I'm trying out using this brush for blush, because my regular blush brush is drying from me washing my brushes yesterday. And then too, I want to see if this will actually apply blush a little bit softer, which so far it's looking like it is applying it much softer than that blush brush that would have done. But there are still several entries that haven't been announced yet, and just like there's still plenty of time for me to, like, change my mind on, like, what songs are, which ones aren't my favorites for this year. So, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Albania is going to remain my favorite this year. I just hope that they do better than they did last year in terms of ranking. Because last year they made it to the final, but they didn't place in the top 10, which made me so mad. So, I'm hoping that they do so this year, because the song is just so powerful. But at the same time, I can easily see it not making it there either, because of how dramatic it is. Since I know this shade will work for it, we're going to use it instead. This is Dusty Rose, again from Anastasia. Alrighty, so here is the final look. How do we feel about it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want to wear it? Yes, I stole that from Bailey Sarian. Sue me. It's wearable but not wearable. But then again, this is also coming from someone who loves playing with bright, fun colors as well, so this probably isn't very wearable. But in my eyes, it seems very wearable. If you guys want to see like more of like just like straightforward tutorials, let me know. And I'll try to do more of these in the future. And also let me know like if you're still here, like what songs are you excited about from Eurovision this year? For those of you who keep up with the competition. Because I'd like to have that type of discussion because I really love Eurovision. And also, while you're down in the comments, ask me some questions for that Q&A video that I'm wanting to do. So yeah, but until I see you guys in my next video, whenever the hell that may be. Goodbye.